Xbox is revealing something huge this Sunday. What's up, y'all? I'm Ray, and this is my channel, Xbox Ready, where we talk everything going on in the world of Xbox. And today we're going to be discussing some pretty juicy rumors involving the upcoming Xbox Bethesda showcase this Sunday. By now, you've probably seen tons of articles, videos, content creators talking about what's going to be shown off at this showcase. But usually, those predictions, that type of content, involve the games. Duh, because that's what they show off. Very rarely do they ever show off any type of hardware, any type of new hardware, no next-gen stuff, no refresh stuff. The closest that we've ever gotten was last year when they were like, hey, here's the Black Series S, isn't that cool? That all might change this Sunday because it's rumored that Xbox is going to be teasing a handheld Xbox. This is following months and months of rumors and kind of like cheeky nods to some sort of portable Xbox. These rumors are coming from Xtasis, who is a Spanish content creator, and he's also a games journalist that writes for Xputer. He's usually pretty accurate with his claims. He's not exactly like Nostradamus or anything, but he was right about the release date for Hellblade 2. He was one day off of the release date for the Baldur's Gate 3 Xbox version. He said it would come out on December 6th. It ended up coming out on December 7th after the Game Awards. He was in the ballpark in terms of the release window for Armored Core 6, and somehow he got pictures of the all-white digital Series X. Of course, that remains to be seen if that's real. That's something that's also rumored to be revealed at the showcase as well. But an entirely new Xbox, especially a handheld Xbox, that's a bold claim. That is by far the boldest claim that this guy has ever made. But he's one of many people that have been talking about over the past couple of months a potential Xbox handheld. Even people like Phil Spencer have been like, hell yeah, I would really like an Xbox handheld, which has only added fuel to the rumor fire. If this is true, if they go ahead and reveal this thing at the showcase this Sunday, well, first of all, it's not going to be a full product drop. It's going to be a teaser, apparently. So they're just going to confirm the existence of this thing and maybe just give us a little trailer. If they end up doing that, I would imagine that this thing is not too far away from release, which is kind of thrown some people off because it was understood that Xbox expected the next generation of consoles to come in 2028. So the question becomes, why would they be teasing an Xbox handheld when we're still 4 years out from that expected date? There have been separate rumors, though, saying that Xbox is interested in kind of jumping the gun a little bit and releasing something in 2026. And in a video last week, I was like, they could totally do it to where they release the Xbox handheld in 2026, and then in 2028, release the proper Xbox standard console. Whatever that may be, whether it's a regular Xbox or like this PC Xbox hybrid we've been hearing about. As pointed out by Game Rant covering these rumors, this could be unaffiliated with the next-gen Xbox entirely. As part of the many rumors that have been flying around, the Surface team was allegedly working on this Xbox handheld, so it could just be like a Microsoft accessory offshoot that, again, has nothing to do with this next-gen technical leap beast that Sarah Bond has been hyping up. Now, this is something I'm personally excited for, again, if it is true. I see some of y'all in the comments, you're like, I don't really care about an Xbox handheld, that's not really my thing. But number one, I think it aligns really, really well with their philosophy right now. Play Xbox anywhere you want, however you want. You can, of course, already do that with Xbox Cloud Gaming, but what if I don't want to stream my Xbox games? What if I want to play them natively on the go? And that's something that they can definitely cover. In my opinion, if they want to stay true to that play anywhere, play however you want philosophy, they would add some sort of handheld native experience to their lineup. Number two, revealing something like this would go a long way in generating hype and excitement in the Xbox brand after a long negative news cycle. Games is one thing, but nothing gets people talking in a way that a brand spanking new console does. Sony's also apparently working on a PlayStation handheld again, and it would be really cool to see Xbox get a jump on them by teasing or revealing their own version this Sunday. Xtasis also claimed from anonymous sources that he heard from that Xbox is also planning to shadow drop a first-party game at some point during the showcase. I would rank this as not so crazy of a claim on his part. Xbox is no stranger to doing this. They launched the Halo Infinite multiplayer early. They also, of course, shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush at 2023's Developer Direct. And I think something similar for this showcase would, again, go a long way in generating fan hype and excitement, and overall just faith in the Xbox brand. It's something that Hi-Fi Rush definitely achieved when it was shadow dropped last year. And by shadow dropping Hi-Fi Rush, I feel like they were able to avoid this kind of weird discourse that surrounds a game leading up to its release. The weird speculation, the weird, like, I don't know, criticism, especially because Hi-Fi Rush was made by Tango Gameworks, like a studio associated with horror gaming experiences and not comic book rhythm-based fighting games. So with that in mind, what game is it going to be? The potential candidates, I would have to say, are the games that are supposed to release in 2024 but don't have solid release dates. That would be stuff like Towerborn, Indiana Jones, Ara History Untold, Avowed, and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. My gut is telling me that it's going to be a smaller game, so that would rule out definitely Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, just by the very nature of the IP that it's based on, it's gonna be highly anticipated, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna get a proper marketing cycle, gameplay deep dives, new trailers leading up to its release. That's what I'm thinking. I'd say Towerborn is a pretty strong candidate to be Shadow Drop Sunday. This is a game that they've shown off a few times. It's made by Stoic, the studio behind the Banner Saga, which I am a big fan of. But whereas Hi-Fi Rush was a huge departure for Tango Gameworks in terms of overall style and gameplay, you could say that's the exact same case for Stoic's works on Towerborn versus their work on Banner Saga. Banner Saga is like a mix of Fire Emblem plus the Oregon Trail. It is super depressing. I love that game, but it is super depressing. Any little decision that you make can lead to the death of a lot of people that you care about in your little camp, your little caravan, as you're making your way through the world. In the Banner Saga, it's literally the end time. So everywhere you go, things are just bad. There's this huge freaking snake in the background. You're like, God, what am I gonna do to fight that damn snake and lead my people to safety? Like, look at the box art for Banner Saga, man. It's just like, you know that things are not going good for the people in this game. And then you go ahead and look at Towerborn, completely different vibe. It's still a fantasy setting, but it's very upbeat. It's very colorful, fun. Gameplay-wise, it looks nothing like Banner Saga. It looks more like Castle Crashers to me. And we also know that it's going to be multiplayer. The thing about it, though, is that Stoic is not a first-party Xbox studio. Yes, their game is going to be exclusive to Xbox, but last time I checked, Stoic was still independent. They weren't bought out by Microsoft. It's possible that they can also drop Avowed as well. Avowed looks pretty close to shipping out and being officially playable. But from my understanding, they kind of went back to the drawing board to tweak some things after they showed it off last year. And it's possible that they're still trying to change some small things or fine-tune the graphics a little bit before they officially launch. Avowed has been getting a lot of criticism saying that it doesn't necessarily look like a next-gen game, or at least not what people expected. I'm not exactly sure why people are placing those expectations on Obsidian of all studios. Like, if you take a look at their games, Pentiment, Grounded, The Outer Worlds, Pillars of Eternity. None of those games are exactly known for having groundbreaking graphics. Like, they're all good-looking games and interesting artistically, but you don't play an Obsidian game and go, oh my gosh, these graphics are so real and lifelike. And from what we've seen of Avowed, I agree, it's not like the highest tier facial animation or like character movement that we've ever seen, but I think it looks pretty good still, especially the environments. People have also been making fun of the combat too, and again, play an Obsidian game. They are not known for like, oh my gosh, this combat is amazing. The closest example we have to Avowed to go off of is The Outer Worlds. And if you played that, again, very straightforward, nothing revolutionary. It's kind of like Fallout, but kind of has its own thing. This is another game I think is going to get a proper marketing cycle leading up to release. I don't think they're going to shadow drop this game. Again, I'm just going off of my gut. Ara History Untold, the grand strategy game where you get to pick a civilization and basically rewrite history, that I would say is a stronger candidate, but not nearly as exciting as Towerborn would be. Forever ago, we heard that there was a Marcus Phoenix collection being worked on, a collection of Gears of War titles that have been remastered and updated for modern Xboxes. That is a long shot, but that would be fucking awesome. Like, you've been waiting for it. We know you love Gears. Let's bring it back to better times. Bam. bam, go ahead and buy it on Xbox right now, or play it through Game Pass. Outside of the showcase stuff, Extasis made another surprising claim when he said that Octopath Traveler 2, the Xbox version, was going to be coming out this June and also was going to be added day one to Game Pass. This is not the first time that Game Pass and Octopath Traveler 2 have shown up in the same sentence. Late last year, Xbox mistakenly put Octopath Traveler 2 on the upcoming titles coming to Game Pass. And then they were like, my bad, it's not coming to Game Pass, false alarm, sorry guys. Which was very disappointing because it was also around the same time where Xbox released the teaser trailer for the Xbox version of this game. And in that teaser, they were like, this game is coming to Xbox consoles early 2024. I promise, guys, early 2024. Well, now we're in June, not really early 2024 anymore. Like, did they just forget to port it over? What's going on? But again, according to Extasis, that could all change if they release the game and add it to Game Pass in the month of June. There's also a possibility that they would add the first Octopath Traveler to the Game Pass library. It used to be on there, that's how I played it, and then they took it off. I think it'd be really cool if they did that for people who wanted to play the first game before jumping into 2. But there's also a history of Xbox putting the sequel of a game onto Game Pass and then taking off the original game, like they did with A Plague Tale Requiem and A Plague Tale Innocence. But no matter what they do with the first game, having the second game on Xbox finally is a huge win for fans. And not just fans, Phil Spencer is going to be happy about it as well. It's something that legitimately made him mad. I got to chat with him about it a little at an event that we were both at. And it was at this time when everyone was talking about how Sony money hats third-party exclusives and takes games off of Xbox, trying to make the Xbox brand weaker. And he was like, yeah, that legitimately, like, that was like pretty upsetting to me. But I agree, the whole situation was weird. Octopath Traveler 2 came out. It wasn't Switch exclusive, but it wasn't coming to Xbox. Even though you can play the first game on Xbox, you could play it on Game Pass if you really wanted to. But if we finally get an Xbox version this June, we can just leave all that stuff behind. Speaking of games that are surprisingly coming to the Xbox platform, y'all remember Kena, Bridge of Spirits? This game spent the last 2 years as a PlayStation exclusive. It's a mix of like Pikmin, but also classic Zelda games. You play as a spirit guide named Kena who is trying to cleanse this forest from a thing called the Rot, which is brought about because there are spirits with feelings of regret and negative emotions that cannot move on and linger in the forest. So it's up to you to fight these bad spirits, this Rot, but you can also be friends with the Rot. You can have Rot creatures and have a little Rot gang. I feel like when this game came out, there wasn't a ton of rave reviews about it. A bunch of people were like, yeah, it's cute, it's got an interesting premise, but it's kind of recycling some other mechanics that we've seen from other Sony first-party stuff. But as an Xbox fan, you'll be able to make your own opinion when this game finally launches on the Xbox platform on August 15th for both the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles. It'll come with exclusive pirate-themed hats for the Rot, as well as a unique Kena staff and golden Rot skin. There's also going to be a physical edition for this game as well, which will include a digital soundtrack and a retail exclusive sticker sheet. Cool, I guess. The COO of Ember Labs said, "We're thrilled to bring the story of Kena to a new audience on Xbox platforms. As our debut game, Kena means a great deal to everyone at the studio, and the team is excited to share Kena's journey with more players. We really hope everyone enjoys meeting Kena and her Rot friends." Ember Lab is an interesting studio because, from my understanding, it started out as an animation studio. They did exclusively digital animation, and then one day they were like, yo, let's make a game. It'll be really awesome. When I see the art style, the character designs for this game, it kind of gives that vibe, like a new age Disney or DreamWorks animated work. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, if you love Xbox, if you love my content, consider subscribing. This weekend is going to be huge for games in between Summer Games Fest, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct, the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, and I'm going to be talking all about it. My buddy Jimmy is flying back into LA, so we're going to be hitting up all those events together. If you want to hear our thoughts, please check back in. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.